Smarties, today we are sharing some important and exciting updates from the last few months. Big changes are coming, and if you are tackling big changes in your business or just need a little bit of guidance on what the next best step to do is, don't hesitate to reach out for coaching. We both have 1 or 2 slots available for coaching at the end of 2024 and in 2025. You can find out more information on either of our websites or go ahead and email us at rachelandsteph@learnsmarterpodcast.com. Let's dig in.
You want to learn faster, but sometimes working harder is just not the answer. You have to learn smarter. The Educational Therapy Podcast.
Hi, Smarties. Welcome to episode 337 of Learn Smarter, the Educational Therapy Podcast. I'm Stephanie Pitts.
And I'm Rachel Kapp.
And today is update day.
No, I didn't have another baby and not tell anybody, which we've done a couple of times on these podcasts.
That's funny.
But Steph and I did step away from recording. We like to record a whole bunch and then we take long breaks from recording. That way you Smarties can always have new episodes from us, but maybe we get a little bit of a break on content creation. So we are just coming back from, what did we take? Like 6 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
I think we took about 6 weeks off from recording. And boy, did we not see this coming.
No.
Except I sort of did see it coming and I was avoiding it. So the big news is that, well, Steph, do you have any big news you want to share?
No, I don't think I have any big news.
So the big news is that Kapp Educational Therapy Group, you've heard us talk about it for years, that we have offices in Beverly Hills and we are virtually everywhere. And the big news and the big update is now we are virtually everywhere only. There were a lot of decisions that I had to make and a lot of emotions that Steph and I have processed through. The truth of the matter is, and this is something we haven't talked about much on the podcast, but Steph and I both track certain information and trends in our businesses. One of the pieces of data that we collect is how much of our sessions are in person and how much of our sessions are virtual. And the reason that was a meaningful number was because I was seeing very clearly that the offices were not getting used with any regularity. They were getting used a small percentage of the time. A lot of families were coming into the practice thinking that they wanted in person. And what would inevitably happen is they would do 1 or 2 sessions in person, and then they would quickly move over to virtual. The work that we do at Kapp Educational Therapy Group is completely effective virtually. And just from a financial standpoint, a managerial standpoint, one of my big mantras this year has been like, what can we do that creates ease? And just from what the data was showing me and has been showing me for years was that it was time to let those office spaces go. Steph, you want to add anything in on this?
Yeah, I was just thinking, our practices are in different areas and we both work with the middle and high schoolers, but my practice also works with elementary school kids. And a lot of the middle and high school kids are virtual in my practice as well.
Right.
But yours was top heavy on the virtual and mine's more top heavy in person.
Yeah.
And educational therapy is very effective virtually. And it can be equally as effective, in person and virtual. I don't think that there has to be one way or the other. And so for you, it made sense.
What did you think when I told you what I was thinking and I was showing you the numbers? What was your initial reaction?
Very initially, when we started sort of talking about it a couple years ago,
yeah,
was very much like, wow.
Yeah.
Because right before COVID, we both moved, right? I moved closer to my office. You moved further away from your office. Mm-hmm. And then everything went virtual. And post-COVID, I went back into the office very quickly. And you never really went back. Mm-mm. I mean, did you have 2 sessions in person in the last 4 years?
I think I've had one.
I think when you were saying you were thinking about it, I originally thought years ago, oh, she'll change her mind.
I felt like we were waiting to see it trend back.
For sure. And things changed post-COVID. So prior, we never would have thought of this because the kids weren't as savvy. It wasn't as accepted.
People were not open to it. And I remember the conversations you and I were having in February 2020, which is, I got to get more space. I got to get more space.
Right, exactly. And I ended up getting an office space 2 weeks before COVID. And then it sat there.
Yep.
I've since closed that office and opened a different one. But on Mondays and Tuesdays in my office, there's no space. Like Tuesdays, if I wanted to use an office, I don't have space. I can't even use it myself.
Right.
And that was not something that, you were experiencing. And you have transitioned to this virtual model that has worked very well in your practice and makes sense. And now you can hire people all over.
Yes, that brings me to that component is that previously, because we needed people local to us, we were only hiring local to us. That has since shifted. We have a team member who's in Hawaii. I am actively looking to hire a team member who is on the East Coast. So things are just changing. And I guess what I wasn't prepared for, this was a very logical decision. A lot of people weighed in on it. And the part that I didn't sort of think about until we were there that day cleaning out, because Steph came because obviously I gave her a whole bunch of stuff for her offices. And I was in my feelings that day.
Yeah, you were.
It was the closing of a chapter. And what I realized is that you and I had set a goal that within the first year of business, we would open up an office space. And both of us did that. And so I was having this full circle, and it wasn't just that we did that, but like when I found this office in Beverly Hills, Steph drove up from the South Bay to come look at it and told me to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And we looked at other office spaces and they were a no.
They were a no.
Yeah.
And then when Steph found her office space, I definitely was down there.
Yes, I have pictures of it. Yep.
We were talking it through. You have pictures of me in the office?
Yeah.
That's really cute in your office. And so I think just the combo of moving out of the office, you being there, and just knowing how proud both of us were for each other and of each other and for ourselves, it was emotional. And, life took a little bit of an unexpected, well, not unexpected. Look, I knew that I was going to have kids and I knew that path that I was on, and I knew that I was probably going to leave the area. But I guess I just sort of thought that office was like a constant. And so it's the closing of a chapter. This is just a reminder for everybody who is in business for themselves. Just because it's what it was doesn't mean it's what it will be.
Yeah.
Sort of moving forward. And also the giving away of stuff. First of all, it went to a happy home. But also it's just things. And if and when the need arises for me to get office space again, I can do that. So really no decision is ever permanent, but it's an iteration. It's a change. Our website is updated. All the things are updated. We have a virtual mailing address now, and it's just, the business is this own organism on itself and it's shifting. Frankly, I love the virtual work. I don't blame my team for preferring the virtual, and it was the right move and probably overdue, but just didn't want to face the facts on it. So that is update. But what I did also want to share is I made this cute little list as I was going through the office. It was really a walk down memory lane. The way I do things has changed so much. And there were so many games. I was like, oh, I love this game. Oh, I love this game. Oh, this was fun. Or this tool was effective. And so what I've done is I've made a quick little list, top 10 hits of like my favorite things that I found in the office. Maybe we should even turn this into a freebie for this episode stuff so we can link it so people can have access. But I just wanted to quickly run through the things that like made me go, huh. And like I got a little nostalgic for. And so I don't think you and I have talked about this.
No, we haven't.
These were my top 10 things that I found. We'll put it into a freebie and we'll share it with you guys. If you're not on our email list, go ahead and sign up. What's our website? www.learnsmarterpodcast.com and sign up for our email list. So these are the things that I remember loving. Clue Master. That's a really fun logic game. That was really, really fun to do with the kids. A tool that I loved was the kitchen timer. The kitchen baking timer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cat Crimes. Super fun game. Mm-hmm. Dr. Eureka. Really fun, loud, kinesthetic, satisfying game. Mm-hmm. Tapple. We played Tapple a lot. Mm. A tool that I loved and that I still advocate and I still buy for clients and send to their houses are Post-its with XY charts. If you have a learner who struggles with showing their thinking on the page and the math page looks completely disorganized and they cannot recreate their thinking because of the way they wrote things on the page, this is a tool that can help sort of guide things along. Mm-hmm. Reading comprehension cubes of questions that you can roll the dice and it pops up a question and you can check for confirmation and understanding or previewing of information. Square Up was another game I loved. Mm-hmm. Played a lot. Picture-Eka. That was another game I played a lot. And then, of course, Osmo, which I took home with me because that'll be fun for the boys when they get bigger.
Oh, for sure. All good things. Yeah. There's a lot of tools that are available. I have a lot in my office. I don't even remember some of them sometimes. So
totally,
it's good to sit there and think about some of those things. And I should probably do what are the latest things that I love to use?
What are your go-tos lately? What are you reaching for a lot?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, congratulations.
Thank you.
A new journey.
Yep.
And see where this one takes you.
See where this one goes.
Yeah.
With that, that's the update. If you are interested in sort of more information on how I came to this decision or are interested in maybe the data that Steph and I collect on our businesses, that's something we can absolutely talk more about. I don't know if we'll do a future episode on that, but for sure that's something that we talk about in our business coaching. So definitely reach out and connect with us about that.
Yeah.
That data guided this decision.
For sure.
So
it's important.
It's important to know. With that,
have a great week, Smarties.
Have a great week.